Hi children, today we meet again, and in our last lesson we did simultaneous equations and simple equations. So today we go on to a new topic in geometry called angles. So now we studied uh, about angles in the lower classes, the 8, 7 and all that. So the main thing that you should do is one or two, a few rules about the angles. First of all, you know about the angles on a straight line. When you have a straight line, this line, if you take a point here, the angle is 180 degrees. So if we draw a line like that here, there are two angles made. These are called angles on a straight line. So if one angle is, if it's 50 degrees, the other angle should be, because total angle on a straight line add up to 108 degrees. So if this is 50, this should be 130. So it's a case of adding and subtracting. Look at this one. Here, this is a straight line and this is 110 degrees. So automatically this angle becomes 70 degrees. Look, angles on a straight line, now we know they add up to 108 degrees. Angle around a point, now we have a point here. And we have angles, several angles around this point. So all these angles add up to 360 degrees. So if we have, we'll say this is 110, this is 90, this is, we'll say 60. We can find out this angle. How? We add all these 110, 90 plus 60. So not 1 over 260 degrees. So 360 take away 260 is equal to 100. So this angle is equal to 100 degrees. How do we get the angle around a point? You must know that. Angle around a point means always 360 degrees. Angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. Two rules. Angles on a straight line, angles around a point, vertically opposite angles. What are vertically opposite angles? That is, we have two straight lines. There are two straight lines. We have this angle and this angle. These two angles are called vertically opposite angles. And vertical opposite angles are equal. How does it come? Now supposing this is 150 degrees, this angle. So we have this as a straight line. Look, if we cover this, we have the straight line. So straight line, angles on a straight line, we studied equal 180 degrees. So this angle becomes 30. And if we cover this one, we have straight line here. If this is 30, this angle should be 150. And finally, this angle also becomes 30. So can you see, these are vertical opposite angles. When two straight lines intersect, immediately you can say the vertical opposite angles are equal. So vertical opposite angles are equal. It comes on when straight lines meet. So we have something like this. If this is we'll say 120, automatically this becomes 120. Then this becomes 60 because straight line 180. This also becomes 60. Look, angles on parallel lines is very important. We studied this before. We have two parallel lines and we have transversal cut in them, and we'll see all types of angles are here. There are 8 angles here. So these two we can say vertical opposite angle we studied, and if we cover this we get straight line, angle on straight line. Then other angles we have like this. We'll say this angle A. So this angle A is also equal to this angle. This is called corresponding angles. We studied this before. This is also A. So this is A, the angle A, corresponding angles comes in the form of an F. Now if you cover this, you can see that there is an F here, one outside, one inside. Same way we have one is corresponding angles. Then we have alternate angles. Alternate angles may come in the form of either this is the form of F. These are the parallel lines, and this comes in the form of Z or N. These two angles here, can you see? Like that. Z. So this angle is also A. This angle equals this angle. This angle equals this B. This is also B. So these are called alternate angles. Alternate angles, one that side, one this side, but always inside the parallel lines. So all this we studied. Then we have one more type of angle called allied angles. Allied angle. All these angles are important because in various different occasions we come across these lines, these angles. Now allied angles come on trigonometry when you have bearings. So allied angles are not equal now. Corresponding angles are equal. A is equal to A. Here alternate angles are equal, but allied angles add up to 180 degrees. Add to 180 degrees. Allied angles come in the form of a U. This angle and this angle. Here you can see allied angles. B plus A. B plus A is here, A plus B is allied angles. The form U. All this we studied, and I hope you remember it very well. We will take a few examples. Look at this. We have two parallel lines here, and we have one angle here on 40 degrees. Now we can find this angle B, C, D, all these angles you can find. How? Now immediately now when two straight lines intersect means vertical. G, no? So we have studied all these types of angles. First of all, B we can immediately say B is equal to 140 degrees, vertical of these angles. Then we can see the straight line, 140 and A. So A is equal to 40 degrees. How? A and 140 equal 180 degrees straight line. So A is equal to 40. Then when you look at it, A and D happen to be corresponding angles. How? You get the F here. Can you see F? Upside down F. So one inside, one outside. So A is equal to 40. So D is also equal to 40. And D is equal to 40 means F automatically becomes 40 because vertical of the triangles. And G becomes 140 degrees angle on a straight line. And E becomes 140 vertical of the triangles. So can you see from one angle we are able to find all the other angles because of parallel lines. So we are done, children, about angles on a straight line, the angles around a point, then the angles vertical of the triangles, and the angles corresponding to parallel lines, and angles on a quadrilateral. So now we come to angles of a triangle. Now, if you draw a triangle, big triangle like this, and measure all the angles, you will notice that it comes to exactly 180 degrees. You must measure it very carefully. Some children don't know how to measure from the keeping the protractor. What you have to do is keep the point here on this point and measure, count from this line to this line. Now you will see in all protractors there are two rows of numbers. So some are confused as which number you have to take. So that's why I am advising you to count from 0, 0, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here it is about 55 degrees. Same way now we keep the protractor. You have to keep the protractor on one line. Keep the protractor on one line like this and count from this line to this line. So count from 0. Now here this point must be exactly on this point, and 0. From 0, 0, 10, 20, 30, 38 degrees we will say. Now we know that like this we add this angle also. You will notice that if we keep it like this and start counting from here, 0, you have to count this line to this line. Keep the protractor like this, 0 to this line. When you start counting 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, to come to about 80 degrees like that. So when you add all this, it must be equal to 180 degrees. Angles of a triangle. Angles of a triangle, always you must remember, add up to 180 degrees. So if you have a triangle where they are given two angles, we'll say 70 degrees, we'll say 85 degrees. You have to find out A. What you do is, we add 85 and 70. 5, 15. So 180, take away 155. 5, 2, 25 degrees. So A is equal to 25 degrees. Because angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Now we have studied so many rules. All these rules you must write down in your book so that you will be able to remember. Okay, children, we will take one more exercise. Look at this. Look. So here we have a triangle, and we know that the angles of triangle add up to 108 degrees. So 110, 140, 150 degrees. So 150 degrees. So this should be automatically 30 degrees. So vertical of the triangles are equal. Therefore, x is equal to 30 degrees. One shot we got the answer. We'll take another exercise. Look at this one. Now we have parallel line. This is 85 degrees. This is A, and this is 42 degrees. Can you see two parallel lines? And parallel lines, we have alternate angles, corresponding angles, allied angles. Here, can you see? Here you get a Z shape or N shape. N shape means alternate angles, they are equal. So automatically this angle becomes 42 degrees. Now how to find A? How to find A? Add 85 and 42. 7 to 127. Take away from 180. 53. So A is equal to 53 degrees. We'll take one more exercise on this topic. Look at this exercise. Here also we are having a parallel line. So when you get a parallel line, immediately you must know that there will be corresponding or alternate or allied angles. So here we have, look at this one. You get a Z. So if this angle is 65, A will be equal to 65 altogether. 65 degrees. So then again this is 65, these are also 65, both are A. Then how to find D? You get the triangle here. So add 65 and 65, 65, 65. So 10, 130. So then D will be is equal to 50 degrees. So you can see one by one step, but you must know the rules properly. Here we have the alternate angle rule and we have the angle of the triangle rule. Now how to find the other angles? Now look, this is 65, then we have a straight line here. Straight line means angles on straight line up to 180 degrees, you know that. So 180 take away 65, so that will be 5, 115 degrees. So we have here also we have a triangle, 150 degrees and 25 degrees. Add 115 and 25. 140 degrees. So C will be equal to 40 degrees. It's all a case of adding and subtracting and very interesting, but you must know the rules very well. If you know the rules very well, you can immediately get the answer for all these questions. That's all for today, children. I hope you have understood the lesson. Please subscribe.